Hope you guys are doing well. Kicking off the vertical stream, trying to remain as consistent as possible to give you guys as much content as I can create. So we'll give folks another minute or two to join into the live stream as we get going. Hope you guys are doing well out there today. Nice humidity, ramping up, but not too hot, not too cold again. Out here in Wilmington, North Carolina, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Hope folks are doing well. Letting folks get a second to join as we kind of do this thing very sporadically. Just attempting to be more engage in different ways. So I appreciate you guys tuning into the show. You can join the chat. Also, if you're not a subscriber, always hit that subscribe button. So anyways, I guess we'll go ahead and get things ramped up. Hopefully it's not too loud behind you. It should quiet down here in just a minute as we make a turn down one of the side roads close to work. So it isn't too loud out here for you guys. It's blaring behind me with all the traffic. So wanted to follow up on a discussion that we've been talking about for days. And we got some more information from Dave Canales and this idea of what do they want to do with the wide receiver room? And it's going to continue to be a topic because fans simply are not satisfied with what the Carolina Panthers have decided to do at the wide receiver position. Partly because you look at the production or the lack of production, the lack of an explosive receiver. The Panthers finished last in the NFL, again, in yards after catch. You need playmakers that can get the ball and create something when they get in space. So that's part of the reason that folks are up in arms. There's also been quite a few trades, a few of those trades which did not go through for the Carolina Panthers. So as we sit here, we get more news coming in from Dave Canales today. So yesterday he was on the This Is Football podcast where he shed some light. He also was on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams where he gave some insight into conversations that were had around DK Metcalf. So DK Metcalf comes up in conversation numerous times because of the ties to Seattle, Dan Morgan, Dave Canales, all those associated with this, everyone links them together. So you have a tidbit of information coming out where Dave Canales says, yes, we had conversations. They were interesting conversations, but nothing came of it. So for you to have a conversation about a wide receiver or the wide receiver position, you have to feel like, as you analyze your wide receiver room, you don't just have a conversation to have it. There's got to be a reason. There's a reason that you're looking to upgrade. There's a reason you're looking to explore bringing a guy in, a guy like DK Metcalf. And that's what the Panthers chose to do. So on one hand, you hear the last day or two that, yes, Panthers were in on DK Metcalf. They talked about it. And then today, as we got another presser, it has not been published, so I haven't seen the actual publishing of the video. But at the NFL owners meetings in the offsite down in Miami where they're having a great time, it looks like, get some questions from Joe Person, Mike Cade, all the guys that cover the Carolina Panthers, asking Dave Canales about DK Metcalf. And it's almost like he backtracks. So we go from this position of, yeah, we inquired, we were interested, we had conversations, to we have DK Metcalf on the roster. You know who DK Metcalf is on the roster? Well, folks, according to Dave Canales, DK Metcalf on the roster is the one and only Xavier Legette. So I want to know how you guys feel about that. Because one, I am very high on Xavier Legette, but at the same time, do we really believe him? It feels like a really big smokescreen. And maybe it's not a big smokescreen at all. Maybe it's Panthers trying to play their cards right so that they can draft a wide receiver. That's partially where I feel like this is headed for the Panthers. They're priming themselves, especially after we hear that they put themselves in position to draft the best available player
And I think that leans towards a wide receiver, leans towards the potential of a tight end very early, probably more so a wide receiver than a tight end. But it's an interesting spot to be for them to kind of double dip around because I think there is some truth to believing in Xavier Legette and thinking he is going to be the next big thing, whatever that is. But there's also got to be a little bit of concern if you're a Panthers fan to like say, hey, hold up. You're telling me one day that you're trying to find the next guy, and then now you're telling me, wait a second, we've got him on the roster. So, anyways, I would tell you also, guys, it's April Fools. Do not be fooled by whatever's happening out there because I've been fooled numerous times today. Luckily, not Panthers related, but all of these college football schools and programs tweet out new stadium renovations and new field colors. I can't tell you how many times I've retweeted them and said, man, this looks great. So do not fall for that on April Fools. Now, the other thing we were going to talk about as we close out this very short live stream is Dan Morgan. So Dan Morgan went on This Is Football, same thing that Dave Canales went on. I just listened to it. It's about a 12-minute episode. A really good insight. He spent a lot of time talking about the Miami Hurricanes football team because, of course, they're down in Miami. That's where Dan Morgan played and some of the competition that he went up against. So got to hear a lot of good insights around that. But he did talk back to the dog mentality. He was asked about dogs developing. What does that really mean? And there was a little bit of insight shed into his philosophy and what he's looking for. A lot of it has to do with the physicality. And he did reference two particular players on the Carolina Panthers right now, and I'll let you guys take a guess if you would like. But none other than Robert Hunt and Chuba Hubbard is two of the dogs on the Carolina Panthers. And I just think we can all agree with that. Like, hands down, those two guys, some of the best on the team. No doubt about it. The other thing, like, no surprise here, Dan Morgan addressed, like, the main purpose, which is kind of the continued message that we've received of the Panthers offseason has been on the front, primarily the defensive front, knowing that the product they put on the field last year was poor, that there's a lot of room for improvement, and that's why they brought in the depth that goes with it. So that was all there really was to it. I'll be back with an additional episode. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we'll continue to do more live streams, more vertical streaming, whatever it is we need to do to get you guys engaged. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And as always, y'all have a good one.